Jai Bhim, Jai Mulnivasi, Jai Savidhan, Jai Bharat. Today is Sunday, and every Sunday we are organizing the various sessions in English. Today also we are going to organize one important topic on reservations. And as all of you know, recently there was one judgment with respect to reservations and the categorization for the reservations. So this topic has become a very important topic, and it has drastic impact on overall the social movement if it is considered. So today also we are going to discuss this very important topic, and let me request all the viewers so that the link of this video that is shared, and this video is available on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and you all are requested to share this particular video in your entire social media so that the entire information on this particular topic will be passed on to all the other viewers who can join and who can get this important information as far as this topic is considered. So today we are going to discuss about the Brahminical forces are not against the reservations but against the constitutional reservations to the Mulnivasis. And today we had with us Mulnivasi N. Sreedhar, who is Organizing Secretary of BAMCEF, and we are going to discuss with him on this particular important topic. So without wasting time, let me welcome Mulnivasi N. Sreedhar, sir. Sir, Jai Bhim, Jai Mulnivasi, Jai Savidhan,
Jai Bhim, Jai Mulnivasi.
Welcome to MNT English Network. Sir, today, as far as a recent judgment by Supreme Court they had given with respect to the categorization within the reservation, categorization within the caste, and further subdividing it into different categorizations with respect to the development of the caste and all. So, as far as your involvement in social movement is considered, how do you see this particular important topic from your perspective? Because overall, if we see for the grade 4 category jobs, like sweeping job, sweeper job, or whenever they talk about reservation, particularly for the women, they are in favor of giving the reservation for the women. And now some of the states they had come up with the reservation for in even the police category. So different way the reservation is taken into consideration. But as far as the Arya Brahmins are considered, they are in favor of such reservations, because when they are giving the reservation for women, they are in favor of the giving reservation to women. But as soon as the reservation for the marginalized people or the indigenous people, the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, or other backward classes, that topic comes into picture, they go to back foot. And even as far as the implementation of reservation is considered, we see that very less representation is there in the managerial post or the governing post, even in so far is considered. And nowadays, for the so many years, we can see that there are privatization and continuous this filling of the vacancies is not taken into consideration, and most of the government institutions are privatized. So, considering all these scenarios, how do you see this particular important topic of giving representation to the indigenous people? And as far as the Brahminical strategy or their policies are considered with respect to this reservation, how do you see this particular topic from your social perspective?
Okay, thank you. It's today topic. It has its own importance and very relevant to the present scenario also at the same time. So, moreover, whenever we speak about the reservation, it's a burning topic, and it's always relevant to at any moment. Unfortunately, today topic is Brahminical forces are not against reservation, but against the constitutional reservations to the Mulnivasis. See, the subject itself shows how the Brahminical forces are their attitude towards reservation. That simply shows. Before going deep into the topic, we have to clarify about the reservations, the concept of reservation, whatever. So, see, reservation, there is no such general reservation and constitutional reservations. It's only one reservation, that is constitutional reservations only. But these Brahminical forces feels that always create some sort of confusion in the society, making this reservations issue as a whenever they want to make it an issue, they expose the issue non-issue as an issue. That is the thing. But thing is now present there of course there are reservations are there. We can divide these reservations before constitution comes into effect, that is the 26 January 1950, and after constitution comes into effect. So that is the Manusmriti days and at present constitution existing days. Okay, that is the one difference we can discuss about it. And before that, what is the reservations? Generally people think that reservation is meant for some sort of people for against everybody, both pro reservation and anti reservation, both are not got clear cut idea about this reservation. That is the problem. That's why both the anti and pro reservation groups feels the same the thing about the reservation. For that reason, I would like to give some clarification about the reservation. So reservation is nothing but it's a representation. We have to see in that angle. Reservation is nothing but a representation. And another concept is equal should compete. The concept behind the reservation is equal should compete, and that means equal should compete means, see for example, in boxing there are different categories: heavyweight, lightweight, above 50 kgs and below 50 kgs, above 65 kgs. Some categories are there. Why it is so? It is because heavyweight person and lightweight person both cannot compete in the same way. So heavyweight, that is not the correct also. That's why they just categorically they divided different groups, that is heavyweight and lightweight, some above 50 kg, below 50 kg, something like that. In the same way in the society particularly social system, such a graded degraded caste system existing in India. In such a social system, this equal should compete concept always required, because the downtrodden people, those who are discriminated since ages together, they are the original Mulnivasis of this country. They are OBCs, SCs, STs, comprises 85%. They have been discriminated not only socially, educationally, economically, politically, mentally, psychologically, religiously, in all aspects, all systems which are existing in any society, in all fields of the society, they have been discriminating since ages together. So to bring back them into normal this one, and the to empower, to consolidate, to give the power and integrate them together, and also they must be in a part and parcel of the law making and administration, implementation also. There should be a part and parcel of all these things to make this downtrodden people, which have denied all these fields since ages together, to make them empower, to make them consolidate, to make them a part and parcel of the entire society, and also there should be a part and parcel of this law making and law implementation, administration part and part. This is the basic idea and concept of the reservation. That is one thing. So before getting into the topic, I would like to give this clarification about the reservations. That is the one thing. And the second part, there are no such reservations. Only one reservation is there. That is constitutional reservation is there. No such reservations. But thing is, we have to define this reservation before constitution, after constitution. So think even after constitution also, there are feeling. See, if you go into the deep, of course, so much of whenever we discuss about the reservation, it should be accompanied with the some realistic statistics, so that that will give some impact on the people, the realistic statistics. So, and with the reference to the constitution articles also, that will give real picture of the reservation to the both the pro and anti groups of the reservation. That is more important. Or otherwise, pro reservation people will feel low, and some feeling low by utilizing reservation, and anti reservation people generally feel that it is a totally causing so much of inefficiency, and so much of merit, and all those issues they will come whenever they want to give it to the sea. So before that, see, before constitution comes into effect, there is a reservations. There are reservations. There were reservations. Yes, so much of so many instances are there. Reservations implementation is there before this one. Even today, so much of reservations being utilized, being implementing for, see, for example, in Pujari system, in top class, wherever top classes or high classes are there, no reservations, and 100% Brahminical forces are there, direct Brahmins are there. I will give the so much of data is there, statistics are there. I will show with statistics. I will tell some of the important things before 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 constitution into effect. So see, Pujari, in Pujari system, there are 100% reservation for the Brahmins, lands, industries, and so many things. There are more than 50% of reservations to the upper caste people, so-called upper caste people. And see, in modern India, that is in 1874, 20% of police posts are reserved. Jobs are reserved for Brahmins in 1874. It was happened. It is record was there in British India in 1874. 20% of police jobs on by force. 20% of police jobs have been reserved for the Brahmins. Apart from the 100% reservations in Pujari system and other important elite jobs, they reserved for the 20% for the Brahmins in 1874. And at that time, 100% jobs in teaching, in teachers for the teaching, entire educational system being under control of Brahmins only. All teachers, 100% teaching teachers are 100% teachers are Brahmins only. Same thing was pointed out by the Rashtrapita Jyotiba Phule in his memorandum to the this what no memorandum to the Fuller Sahib given the memorandum in his is categorically pointed out that how many teachers, the total education system at the time of British India occupied by the Brahmins, being occupied by the Brahmins, the total entire system is not at all giving scope to the downtrodden people. He categorically pointed out it, and given the representation. So the to the Hunter Commission, sorry, it is Hunter Commission 1882 itself has given the representation to the Hunter Commission, showing that. So this that is the one thing, and so many other things also are there. 1912 in 1912, Mysore, Brahmin Diwan is Mr. Visvesvaraya. Mr. Visvesvaraya is a Brahmin, is appointed as a Diwan of Mysore, Diwan of the Maharaja Mysore state. That is totally reserved for Brahmins, 100%. That is 100%. In 1918 also, in 1918, one Praja Mitra Mandali they have given the representation to the government British India. Based on their representation, they appointed one committee under the leadership of Miller, Leslie Miller. After investigation, he is given 75% of reservation should be given the downtrodden people at that time. It is in the year 1918 only. So if you take that point like that, it's going on. That is the thing. One before that, before the implementation of the reservations. So now come to the when it comes to the after reservation. After reservation, see, yeah, there are so many articles are there for the reservations, so much of information, clarity given based on the reservation, but people are think that reservations that are being everything is that they're thinking that reservation have been given to the this OBC SC/ST people, nothing is left for them. See, as per the census, there are 15% SCs available in the India. In India, they are getting 15% reservations, and 7.5% of STs existing. They are getting 7.5%, and OBCs are as per 1931 census. Of course, latest there is no latest census are there. The demand is going on right now, that is 52%. Even from Mandal Commission report also, they are existing 52% of this one. They are getting 27% instead of 52%. SC/STs, they are getting reservations since 1950, the day on which the constitution comes into effect, whereas OBCs are getting 27% reservation since 1991 only. It's a big conspiracy. That is a different issue. Why it is so? Instead of getting 52%, why they are getting 27%? It's a big conspiracy in the Mandal Commission case. That is the thing. One thing. That is the brief about the reservation. Okay. And anything? Shall I continue or anything from your side?
Yeah, no problem. Please continue.
Okay. See, total, if you see the generally reservations are meant for education and employment fields only. Reservation is meant for education and especially this employment sectors only. See, if you see the total entire employment scenario of India, we can divide the employment scenario of India into two groups, major. One is unorganized sector and organized sector. Unorganized sector and organized sector. That is unorganized sector. We can say informal sector, and the organized sector is nothing but formal sector. So 90% of is the jobs or employment is being in the unorganized sector and informal sector only. That includes agriculture. Major part is agriculture and private firms and other small industries. So almost 90% of employment is being covered under unorganized and this informal sector. Only 10% are being 10% are being covered in the organized and formal sectors only. 10% only out of 100%, 90% unorganized and 10% in organized formal sector. This 10% organized and formal sector comes government offices and public undertakings, public PSUs, and other industries which comes under the purview of the having so much of employees, comes under the laws and laws given by the central government. All those comes under this organized sectors. So see, in which this private industries occupies 8%. Out of 10%, 8% are being occupied by the major companies like Reliance and Adani's companies, something like that. 8% are being occupied by the this balance. How much? It's 2% only. See, out of 100% employment, government covers 2% only. Very unfortunately, out of 2%, this reservation, constitutional reservation being implementing. See, and how unfortunate this thing is. If you go further deep into the statistics, even the 2% of employment not at all being implemented, 15% of reservation to the SCs and 7.5% of the STs, and even 27% of OBCs are not at all implementing in different fields. I will give the statistics data also in detail, so that we can come to a conclusion, a logical conclusion, and we can know the actual fact also. Otherwise, simply saying they are not at all implementing, they are not at all doing, no, it's not. We have very authentic and very based authentic data is there. Okay, so 2% of government and public sectors being covered, in which the constitutional reservations being implemented. See, even though very unfortunately, even though this 2% of employment from the government and public sector units also, then they are the strategically and chala conspiracally they are killing the concept of reservation, constitutional reservations, by different ways and means. See, after 1991, there is a LPG LPG system has liberalization, privatization, and globalization has come. With that effect, we, by using that thing, simply they're doing privatization, but they're killing the concept. And see, earlier we have clearly mentioned the concept of the reservation to empower, enforce, and integrate the downtrodden people who have been denied their rights, denied being a part and parcel of the society, regular society, and the make them a part and parcel of the law making, administration, law implementation. And also, this is the base thing for the base concept of the reservation. That too, see, if you go into the deep, it has been implementing 2% of government jobs only. Even that also, they are killing it by way of this disinvestment, privatization, disinvestment. See, disinvestment very they have uh, formed one separate department and at the central government for a disinvestment. Very unfortunate thing. So by doing a disinvestment means they are withdrawing the government share from a company, public sector units there. So simply after withdrawing the government share from the companies, it becomes naturally it becomes privatization, so it leads to private. So that is disinvestment is one strategy they are implementing. And second is outsourcing. Instead of implementing the reservations and through recruitment, they are not at all using this recruitment. See, since last 10 days, there is no 10 years, last 10 years, there is no solid recruitment notification is there in central and state also. Of course, central, there is no solid recruitment notification is not there. For that, so much of opposition has come from the. But even though due to this media and social media, they able to manage to come into power again, these Brahminical forces. So one thing is they are in disinvestment. Second thing is they are outsourcing. Simply outsourcing means that then no need to implement the reservations of this 15%, 1.5%, 27%. This is temporary. They're telling this is temporary. They are continuing outsourcing. The outsourcing is the one way of killing this reservation concept of reservation, and then not implementing the reservation. And other thing is faulty implementation of reservations. Here it is very important thing. See, faulty implementation of reservations is one thing generally people cannot understand what exactly it is. Faulty implementation of reservation is, see, they're supposed to implement 15% to the SCs, 7.5% to STs, and 27% to OBCs, rest to 51% to open category. What exactly open category means? So open category meant for all people, that includes SC, ST, OBCs. If they get the, see, for in reservations, there's some cutoff marks for eligibility. For SC, ST, OBCs, they will generally, if it is 50 marks cutoff with general, it will reduce to 40 marks to SC, STs, some 42 marks for OBC, something like that. But if the person who belongs to OBC, SC, ST, who got the more than 50 marks, they can eligible for open competition. But in faulty implementation of reservations policy, they are, even though he is eligible for open competition, even competition, they are considering that person in the reserve category. That is happening. I will give the two examples in Central University in Hyderabad is Central University in 2000. In 2000, there are three seats for MPhil, PhD. One lady who qualified in open category, but she considered in SC category. So after so much of fight from herself and total associations, students association of the university, so much of fight only, they consider her as a from open category, so that another SC girl can utilize that one. That is the thing. Even in our department, I'm working in electrical department in 1995 also, in for OBCs, even though they qualified more than the cutoff marks, they consider in the OBC category only, in 27% only. After long 3 months of long prolonged agitation, they could able to get that share. So thing is, this comes under a fault implementation of the constitutional reservations. And not only that, they're not at all implementing proper way. Proper way means, see, there is a generally we used to hear that backlog posts are there. What does it mean? Backlog posts means, if there are 100 posts for notification is there, so out of 100 posts, 15 posts should be reserved for the SCs, and 7 to 8 posts for STs, and 27 posts for OBCs. If 15 SC people are not available, even though after cutoff marks, they're not at all, they're not able to complete this recruitment process. They left that all those things, balanced not recruited jobs aside, and after continuous 2-3 recruitment, they will get the some 20, 30, something like that. They will exclusively give the notification for the balanced SST post as a backlog post. See, there is some conspiracy is there behind this backlog post. If they give that cutoff marks in that special recruitment, this one, they will not give any cutoff. They will directly recruit that SC, STs directly after noting if the sufficient people are not applied. Same thing can be done at the time of recruitment. If they could have done that at that time, by doing that, so they're losing 2 years of service, and at the same time, this experience and everything they lost. This is the improper implementation of the reservations. If you go like this, so much of examples are there in non implementation of the reservations. Okay. And in addition to that, so much of in improper implementation of reservations, there are some reservations in recruitment and as well as in promotions, both. For which some roster points are there. For roster points, there are one basic thing is there. If jobs are more than 2 and 14, below 14, the roster point should be implemented. So there is a clear cut 1 to 14, the clear cut fixed roster points are there. So for 1 to 4, I will read out. For 1 is unreserved, 2 is unreserved, 3 is unreserved, 4 number 4 is for OBCs, and 5, 6 is unreserved, 7 is for SCs, 8, 9, 10, 11 is for unreserved, and 12 for OBCs, and 13 is unreserved, 14 is for STs. See, out of 14, in which also there is a some, if you analysis further, in promotions also we should apply the same roster except OBCs. There is no provision for OBCs for in reservations and promotions. That is another important topic to be discussed actually. That of course will whenever time is there, we'll further elaborate about the reservations in promotions also. Okay, if you see the this 14, out of 14, if you see the 5, only 5 points are for SC, ST, OBCs. 5 points, only 5 points are there, whereas 9 points for the unreserved. Means 35.71% only for SC, ST, OBCs, where they are supposed to get the 49.5% they are supposed to get, but this due to this roster point they are getting 39.71% only, whereas out of 14 roster points, they are unreserved category, that open category, they are getting 9 roster points there. That means they are getting 64.28%. In that also they are getting more, but they feel that array roster they're getting so much of this one, they're telling. But if you go reality, this is the thing, again is they're supposed to get 49.5%, but they are getting 35.7% only by using the roster system also. This is not even our people also not at all notice this point. That is the one one thing we have to point out about the reservation. And another important thing above all,
Okay.
apart from all those things, one Supreme Court giving the anti-reservation verdicts, so much of anti-reservation verdicts are giving. That is
Right,
so
right.
much of that is there. I will tell if
Yeah, so,
anything. I will give the details.
based on your overall analysis or overall elaborations, it is clear that before the implementation of the constitution or before the our forefathers movement, Arya Brahmins were not in favor of giving representation or giving any positions to the indigenous people or the 85% Mulnivasis. And now also, after the implementation of constitution, also several policies were made not for the implementation of the reservation policy or not giving the representation or the constitutional reservations to the indigenous people. So it is very clear that they are against the this basic principle of giving representation. So when it is clear that they are not in favor of giving the constitutional rights to the indigenous people, what is left for the indigenous people or these Mulnivasis people, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, and other classes who constitute more than 85%? What they should do or how they should take this particular issue into the social movement.
See, in contrary to the implementation of constitutional reservations, as we discussed earlier, so much of hindrances they are creating. They are not at all implementing the constitutional reservations, that provisions given by the constitution to the downtrodden people. They're not at all. Their intention is totally different. This intention is totally different. See, before going to the further, so much of we go into the constitution articles, so that what exactly constitution has given to the downtrodden people. So see article 330. If you go through the article 330 of the Indian constitution, see if you go through the reservations of seats for SC STs in the house of people, that is in the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. In the article 332 is also there, that is also reservation seats for SC STs in legislative assemblies based on the percentage percentage of SC STs in the respective states, percentage of population in the respective states. And article 334 is there. Article 334, it is the reservation seats and special representation to cease after 10 years. So whatever reservation given to the SC STs in the parliament or local assemblies, and also that has to be supposed to be seized after 10 years, is as per the constitution. That is the one thing. And very unfortunately, one interesting thing I would like to give, one interesting thing. uh, See this, as per article 330 and article 332 and article 334, article 330 and 331, reservation being given for MPs, regional SC STs based on population in their respective states in the parliament, and MLAs for the assemblies, that has to be supposed to cease within 10 years. But see, even though we got that independence in 1947, first parliament elections held in 1951. By taking 1951 to till date, we take the statistics. So much there are almost 74 years of this one. Out of 74 years of independence, 63 plus years being ruled by the Brahmin only, on Brahmin and Brahminical forces only. Balance, balance 10 years being ruled by the other than non-Brahmins, that too in 4 terms. That is the thing. And during these 74 years of this one, they have done so many amendments. They have done to the constitution. Out of those amendments, instead of implementing the constitution, they 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 have done so much of amendments. They have done so much of amendments to the constitution. This is the one thing where we can see their intention of implementing the constitution. In those all the amendments, one thing is common, that is extension of reservations for the reservations of seats of SC STs in the parliament and assemblies. That is the one common amendment that we can observe since from 1915 to latest amendment. All the all the prime ministers, irrespective of their this one, all have the common amendment that they have done 10 years of extension of these reservations. That is one thing. And another important this one is article 14. Article 14, two important things are there. One is, we, the downtrodden people, the Mulnivasi Bhojans of this country, that they are OBCs, SC STs. They got this constitution reservations, constitutional provisions from the constitution, to empower themselves and make a part and parcel of this society. Those, they are away from the regular society since ages together, to make a part and parcel of administration, make a part and parcel law making, law implementation, for which they implement this constitutional provisions for these downtrodden people. So there is an Article 14 for which the 1, 2 and part 3 and part 4 of the Indian Constitution. Two important things are there. One is fundamental rights and the other is directive principles of state policy. These two are the very important parts of the Indian Constitution. One has to remember, one has to go through, one has to uh, by heart and understand the concept of these fundamental rights and the directive principle state policy. From which we will take some one or two important related to these reservations. All not all these things. So Article 14, what Article 14? Equality before law. Equality before law, that is one thing. And Article 15, very important article from the fundamental rights. It is so it's a protection of discrimination. So protection of discrimination based on caste, creed, religion, language, place of birth. This is the protection of discrimination. So that it means before constitution, after constitution. So it was there before constitution, that's why it has come after constitution. This is total protection to the total entire downtrodden people. So another important this one is Article 16. Article 16 is equality of opportunities in public employment. It is the one of the, this is the base for the reservations in employment and educational institutions. This is the base. 16.1, 16.1, 16.2, 16.3 is there, 16.4 is there, 16.4, 16.4b. We cannot go through as time is not there. So if you go through all those 16 Article 16 under the 1, 2, 3, 4, all those things, the basic is equal to opportunities for the public employment and special provisions for the SC, ST, and other downtrodden backward castes. If there is no sufficient people are not there as per the their percentage in the public employment. That is the one important 16.4. This one is there. So article, so many things are there. So that is not necessary here, but Article 15.1 also is there that people state shall not discriminated, and Article 15.4 is one important things we have to go through. That is, state shall make special provisions. See, state, whatever it may be center or state government, central government, state shall make special provisions for the advancement of any socially and educationally. See, this is a very important underline point. As per Article 15.4, what it said, state making special provisions for the advancement of any socially and educational backward classes of the citizens, especially for SC, STs. This is especially mentioned in that article. So 15.4 is that is there in the constitution. So that is the one thing is a very important thing is there for which we have to go through. And as we already said, as per 16.4, there is a special provisions and special this provisions should be created in recruitment as well as promotions along with consequential seniority. What is consequential seniority? Consequences are nothing but the seniority which you get after promotion with the reservations in promotion. That should be there along with the along with there, that should be there with him after getting the promotion along with this one, along with this reservations promotion implementation as per Article 16.4 of the this one. That is the one important things I would like to say. And any other things you ask, I will go through it and I will tell you the details. Ashish.
Yes, sir. Now you had very well elaborated on the provisions of the constitutional provisions as well as what has happened and why they are not implementing. Now, the main thing is that if they are not implementing, what is left for us? What we should do, or what the intellectual class of this particular SST OBC they should do so as to protect these constitutional rights or their basic rights which are enshrined in the constitution. What is your message to them? What they should do?
Okay, that is very important. Very important thing it is actually. As per constitution, they're supposed to implement, but they're not at all intended to implement it. As they are in the power, they're supposed to implement the constitution. As per constitution, they're supposed to implement, but not at all implementing. So not to implement the this constitutional provisions, constitutional reservation policy, constitutional reservation policy, there, as we already discussed about it, so many hindrances they are creating by way of disinvestment, the way of privatization, the way of non-implementing this one. One thing is very clear. See, the Brahminical force always they used to create confusions. They used to create the conflicts. They always used to create some sort of confusions in the society, for which this the for that one one thing is very clear. As a full Ambedkarite, we have to know the Baba Sahib three principles are there. Educate. We have to educate ourselves first. Then we have to educate others. One famous quote from Full Sahib is there. It is the responsibility to awaken people, to awaken unawakened people. That is the one of the most important thing we have to follow. Means, so they are very clear that they are supposed to implement the constitutional provisions, but they're not at all. They're not at all intentionally not intended to not implement the constitutional provisions. That is their intention. It is clear, very clear. To counter it, what we have to do? We have to follow our forefathers' directions. That is, we have to educate ourselves about the constitutional provisions. We have to go through. We have to educate. We have to know the concept of the spirit of the constitution. Then we have to educate others. So by way of educating our people, by making the aware of these people, our people, so the pressure will clear, the demand will. So without knowing the fact, so famous quote is there. If you tell the slave, you are the slave, then only he will revolt. The Baba's a famous quote is there. In the same way, if you do not know the what we are supposed to get as per constitution provision, whatever the provision is supposed to get, but we are not getting by way of different means, by means, but because our people not at all knowing about it. Simply they're seeing, something is going on, they're simply following it without knowing the what actually happening in the society. We have to aware, people should be aware. Then only educate, by educating our provisions, whatever we supposed to get as per the constitution. It is our right, it is our right. No, they are not at all giving by way of mercy or by way of their own this one. They are not at all giving from their own pockets. These are the provisions constitution given by us through fundamental rights, through directive principles of state policy. So many articles are there for protection, for implementation of our rights, and all those things. So by awareing all those things, by educating ourselves, all these provisions, by educating ourselves, our people, by making aware and making them what you call use in a use way, then only the things whatever they conspiracally they are doing the conspiracies, then we can counter it, and we can make it implement in a whatever actual form they're supposed to be. That is the one thing. That is
Right.
the main thing we're supposed to follow. That is the one thing.
Yeah. Very well. The message was very well picked up by you, and definitely it will have to pass on to the intellectual class preferably, because they are the people who are guiding the society. So if the intellectual class, they are in the field and they are guiding the people what is happening, why it is happening, and how it should be, how it can be prevented, or how it can be their basic rights can be given back. Because if you see that overall population, 85% of population is the strength itself. So if these people are properly awakened and if they are properly trained, then definitely they can utilize their power or they can utilize their strength in getting their rights back. So that is the only way left with the indigenous people, and yeah, the intellectual class has to play a very vital role in this particular direction, giving their valuable time, talent, and money in the social movement, so that proper awareness can be brought out. So it was a very nice discussion with you today, and you had elaborated the topic in a broad perspective, and given more clarity on the overall development, overall constitutional provisions, and what the viewers or what the this particular ST and OBC mass is considered, what they should do. So it was very nice discussion, and I think that this message will be taken care by the viewers, and they will pass on this important message in the social media, as well as they will discuss this particular important topic in the society, so that the awareness can be brought. On behalf of MNT News Network, I am really thankful to you for sparing your valuable time, and definitely in future also we expect you to guide our viewers on different important topics, and hope you will come back again. Thank you very much, sir. Jai Bhim,
One thing
Jai
is, before
Mulnivasis, Jai
going
Sreedhar, Jai
closing
Bharat.
this one thing we missed that this categorization and the strategy we is supposed to implement. Of course, time is not there, and so much of data is there with me to show how this non-implementation and this one. Of course, this is not the time. If time is available, if next time we'll
Yeah,
give
we will
go
discuss.
through further
We
for
will
the under
discuss
reservation.
separately.
Okay. Sure. Thank you. Jai
Sure, sir.
Bhim, Jai
Definitely, we will
Mulnivasis, Jai
organize the
Bharat, Jai
topic on this
Samvidhan.
particular aspect. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Jai Bhim, Jai Mulnivasis, Jai Sreedhar, Jai Bharat. So it was N. Sreedhar sir who was discussing with us about the overall concept of a reservation, not reservation, but a representation, and how it is curtailed or how it is tempered by the Arya Brahmins, and how they are not in favor of giving the constitutional rights to the indigenous people. And in such case, what these particular individuals should do. So this particular video will be there on this particular link, and you all are requested to share this particular video to your social media on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, so that this important information about a representation will pass on to the maximum viewers of scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, and other backward classes, as well as the indigenous masses. And this important information, they will take it forward in the society, and they can create a mandate. So thank you very much for joining today. And tomorrow also we are going to discuss one important topic. So this is also with respect to the reservation and recent decision by the Supreme Court. So tomorrow we are going to discuss along with Mulnivasis Engineer Ramashankar sir, who is National Organizing Secretary of BAMCEF, and the topic is आरक्षण पहले निष्प्रभावित किया, फिर मूल्यवासियों को आपस में लड़ाने का फैसला. So how they had categorized the reservation and how they had made it non-implemented. So that we will discuss it tomorrow. So be there at 8:30 p.m. And thank you very much again once again for joining today. With this we end this session today, and thank you very much. Jai Hind.